Hey guys, I want to make a quick video of something from the Discord, another Discord preview. Discord video coming out super soon. Want to show it off, what I've been building in it, kind of how I've been setting it up, what you're going to find. It's pretty cool. This video is called Massive Soak and Hidden Seller, where I have this listed under bearish price action. Can you see my bearish price action? Which is like, this could be a great short when it matches up with other factors. So it's a bearish factor, but it has to match up with other stuff happening on the chart if you're going to use it as a short entry, right? Just because you see this randomly happen in random places on the chart doesn't mean you can just go short, right? So let me show you some examples of what this is, what I wrote about it. This is something you see over and over again. So as a short seller, you always want to be thinking about how longs view price action, right? How they're thinking, where they want to get in, what price action do they want to see. And you'll notice that this massive soak and a hidden seller, this always happens on stocks that already made a big move, right? So here's PTPI back in April, right? Crazy times in April. Big move, stock pulls back, and seeing a big move, especially one that squeezed shorts early in the day, that's always, longs are always going to be staring at this chart through the rest of the day. They're always going to be thinking, man, the next big move is, they always think the next big move's coming, right? A lot of times they miss the first big move. Maybe they piked it, and they're trying to catch the next one, right? They're really, even if it's just for a scalp sometimes, the smarter ones will try to scalp the backside. Most of retail is thinking this is going to squeeze another 200%. But an important criteria for a lot of long traps and a lot of long trappy bearish action, that it's price action that looks super strong but is actually incredibly weak, is you want a stock that's massively extended, right? Especially a stock that has squeezed shorts multiple times. You love to see it. Any type of parabolic short squeeze is great for this type of thing. So what is this? Like, what is massive soak and hidden seller? These are a couple terms. Maybe some people who aren't used to my content are like, what does that mean? To help people out, I actually wrote a little terminology section. It went over some terminology of if you're not used to this, like how low flow traders describe things. It might be really confusing when you first come into this market. You see people on Twitter and Discord rooms saying all these words, and everyone has their own definition, so I really wanted to write it out, what I mean. So massive soak is simply buying at support. All it is. In my definition of soak, there's a support level, and the stock will not go down. Somebody is supporting support. There's buying coming in. I call it soak, right? It just refers to somebody's buying the stock, okay? And then what is a hidden seller? So this requires some level 2 knowledge. In trading, there's a bid and an ask, right? The bids represent who wants to buy. The ask represents who wants to sell. You'll see numbers like 1 or 100, depending how you have your settings set up. Hidden seller, very simple, is somebody is looking to sell on the ask, so that's the sellers, right? But you can hide your order. So, for example, I can put in a hidden order, and anyone can do this. I can put in a hidden order for 50,000 shares, right? But I can choose through my broker to only show to other people 100 shares. So it looks like only 100 shares want to be sold. See, at 2.8, 100 shares, but really there's a 50,000 share order there, right? So the way this works is very simple, right? You got usually some type of move that gets retail long super interested, right? It's usually on a ticker that's really extended, squeezing shorts. Usually, for example, BIOC here, it's kind of soaking under VWAP, and then you get all this crazy volume coming in. Oh my God, it's gonna break high day. Dude, it's so strong. And then what happens is it's very simple. Support breaks, and then a bunch of buying comes in, right? So it goes down to support, looks super weak, and then the tape is just nothing but green prints. It's just buy, 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 and it's a lot of times it's like hundreds of thousands of shares, just buy, 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 buy. So you see a ton of buying. Retail love to see, you know, these support reclaims. You know what I mean? For example, to show you what retail is really looking for, I'll show you SPCB from today. Let me see if I can pop this open real quick. There you go. Right. What retail longs, what they think is going to happen, which is actually quite a rare pattern, is this. They think there's going to be some support swipe, and then there's going to be some crazy up-only massive squeeze, which in the right context can happen. But this is, you have to understand, this is what retail's thinking is going to happen. When they see support break and a massive, massive reclaim, they're going to think it's going to go up only. And hey, sometimes it does. That's why they're looking for it, you know. The reason long trap patterns work on the short side is because, it's because, sorry, closed the wrong window. What I was saying is, the reason retail long traps work is because sometimes this exact price action does work to the long side, right? These are patterns in the low flow market that do sometimes work, right? So, and retail knows that. So when they see stuff like this happen, they have an expectation that, hey, say BIOC, it breaks support, it reclaims, this is the soak, and then I'm expecting, here's high day, here's 1.75. They're expecting these lower highs to get broken, and they're expecting a high day squeeze, right? So market makers know this, right? They know how retail reacts to price action. So what they do is they repeat that same pattern, but it runs into a hidden seller. So there's some type of seller, and this is where tape reading. So tape reading can be great at the right moment, right? At the right moment, it's a great thing, right? This pattern literally, actually you don't need the tape for this pattern, but it definitely helps. If I see this soak, and I see this push, and I see this 1.7 flat top, I'm like, let me see if that 1.7 even gets broken. And I just look at the ask, and then what happens? There's a few hundred shares at the ask at 1.7, and there's all this buying going through it, and there's no movement. And I know that's a hidden seller. Some guy is just selling into all this retail, chasing this dip in this reclaim, right? Because you know the volume's coming in, big move to the upside. But like I said, this is a low flow. It already made multiple squeezes in the pre-market, made a squeeze in market open. You know, after a stock is extended enough, especially in the low flow space, you'll see this type of long trap price action, and it's great. And you could short this. You could just short into the high 160s right here, and your whole thesis is this is a long trap move. A lot of times you could risk like 5 cents. Like you're pretty much risking like, hey, there's 1.5, 1.7 hidden seller. You know, I'll give yourself some space in case he gets taken out, because sometimes it gets taken out, comes right back down. But your whole thesis is that this is a trap, it's going to roll over, and this is what ultimately leads to the backside, right? So here's JXCN. Big market open push, up only push, love to see it. It pulls back. You start getting this this like pennant structure, right? Where it's like lower high, lower high, lower high, and what longs are waiting to see is they're waiting to see a big this downtrend. They're waiting to see it get broken, right? They're downtrend, and then you get a big green candle to the upside, right? Okay, what happens? Comes a VWAP. VWAP's holding. VWAP's holding. VWAP's holding. Swipes VWAP. See this green candle right there? Right there. Big initiation. Big. And I'm like, oh, maybe they, you know, and I'm watching this the whole time, and I'm like, maybe they just push this to 5.4 and it stalls, maybe 5.5 and it stalls. I never know what level. This is where tape reading becomes really important, because it'll tell you ahead of time what levels are stalling, where hidden sellers are, what levels are being hit. If then the bid keeps dropping, like it hits 5.3, bid drops, goes back to 5.3, bid drops. You'll see stuff like that. So you get a lot of retail chasing this green candle, right? Big push and then the pull, right? So this is classic low float stuff, right? VWAP reclaim into a hidden seller, pull pull the bid, drop, and this is a 15% drop, right? Other examples, PRZO, this happened yesterday. Big squeeze, right? Squeeze the pre-market high day shorts, squeeze shorts shorting this candle, right? You get some nice higher lows. Retail longs love to see the higher lows. Looks great. Swipes, not all the higher lows, but a few of them. But swipe support. And what actually happened here is this one happened real quick. Sometimes you usually get more time than this, but what happened here is it swiped to 2.29, pushed to 2.37, 2.38, stalled, and then dumped. Then you get the 20% dump candle, right? So again, it happens a lot after big squeeze, bullish structure. Longs are waiting for a specific thing to happen. They get the price action they initially want. They're buying. They see the buying come in, and then usually hidden seller. Again, here's DMK. DMK had this crazy 200% squeeze, right? Pulls back. You get this 1.1 support, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1. Cracks it, taps $1, and then huge volume coming in. And actually, I wasn't short any of this structure up here. I was hoping it would get into the 1.3s, but I saw this candle. And once this candle came in, I was like, well, let me see. Like this candle's so obviously bullish that it's the perfect time for a long trap. So I'm like, again, a big part of short selling and having big risk reward, and making the most money, especially in this low float space, making the most money possible, is seeing price action that looks super bullish. It looks incredibly bullish, but based on where it is on the chart, right? It's already squeezed 200%, right? A lot of times on the backside, there's games like this to shake out shorts and get longs to chase. So I see this push. I see, oops, my cursor. I see this push. I see this flat top. I actually just shorted. I saw this failed push. I shorted into 1.18, and I was just betting that this would just roll over, right? Like this candle's so bullish that it, especially on this second push, should have went, wasn't going. Volume was decreasing. The ask at 1.19 and 1.2 kept refreshing over and over and over again. And then it rolled over, and I think this faded below 0.7. So this ended up being like a 35-something% fade. It was huge. So here's PTPI, big move, a couple 100%, pulls back, does a fake breakout, a pullback. So this is a short pattern into a massive reclaim. Like, look at this. Like, you get the short pattern, and usually when longs see this, they think, okay, that's got to be super bullish, right? Because look how aggressive. Like these shorts are about to get squeezed. So look how strong the stock is on the way up, right? They're hitting it. What happens? Hits a hidden seller at $7, rolls over, cracks support twice. Now this, a lot of some of these situations you can hold for a big fade, and some of these situations are more scalping opportunities. But we'll talk about that some other time. We'll just talk about this pattern, ONFO. Again, this is very similar to BIOC, where you had under VWAP. Yeah, I made a video about fake VWAP resistance. We're gonna make VWAP seem really strong. This is just like BIOC. You get a big squeeze above VWAP. And look at this. Look at this candle. This broke into a massive push. Hit a hidden seller, rolled over. That's the beginning of the fade. And yeah, so here's BPTS doing the same thing. Support crack, big initiation, hits a hidden seller, rolls over. Notice these are all happening after big squeezes, right? This is like the best long traps happen after massive squeezes, right? That's really when they happen. So they happen at points where shorts are freaking out and where longs are trying to get in on the next move. So yeah, this is another Discord preview. Hope this was pretty cool. This is the type of stuff where if you just train your brain, to view this price action as bearish, right? It seems so strong, but if you just train yourself to think it's weak, and then you just have to learn what moments to do it at, like when when do you actually, because you know you don't want to get faked out over here and over here. You know you want to wait for a big volume up only squeeze, and then you want to wait for something like this, right? So yeah, it's all in the Discord. Discord info coming out super soon. If you're watching this in the future, then it's already out. I'll probably go back and edit all my descriptions down below to include information on how to join. So, hope that was interesting, guys. A lot of fun Discord stuff in here. Been building it out. So anyone who's interested in this type of thing, you know, I made a couple videos going over this stuff already. Hope you find it interesting. All right, guys. See ya.